the consumer also, in attempting to get redress, you should not be abrasive. You should not come and try to bully the shop owner. You should be polite. You should be calm in obtaining your redress.
This statement comes as reports of difficult customers are increasing disputes between buyer and seller. Some business owners have said, although they appreciate and support consumers, people are taking advantage of the customer service provided. The expression, "the customer is always right," originated from free retailers in the 1900s, who realized that the success of the business was dependent on the happiness of the customers and providing good customer service to them. So, do you believe the customer is always right? The views of the general public tend to vary on this matter.
At the end of the day, without the customers, you have no business. So it's a matter of how you handle the situation. The customer is always right.
Of course, the customer is not always right, unless that customer is God, because that's the only person that's always right.
Well, the customer is always right, always depend on the approach of the customer, how the customer approach you, how he speak to you,
No, the customer is not always right. Nobody is perfect. Therefore, the customer can never always be right.
Yes, because we need customers. No, because the level of disrespect of some customers is just very high.
I don't believe the customer is always right. In my humble opinion, customers can be very, very rude sometimes.
But to me, the customer is always right.
It will depend on the situation and the customer's approach to that particular situation.
They want to abuse you just because they're buying from you. They think they have the right to tell you anything. That can't be right.
Former NCA president gives his opinion on why he believes the customer is always right.
Because there's nothing in the world or any product or any business can survive without a customer. That does not precipitate the fact that the customers also have a responsibility. Not because they are right. They can walk into your business and just say anything or do anything they want. There is responsibility on the part of the customers to ensure that their rights have been protected.
The Director of Consumer Affairs says, ultimately, the consumer has to be responsible.
The consumer has responsibilities, and they need to exercise those responsibilities. So, in transacting business, the consumer needs to always transact in a business-like manner. You have to be polite. You have to be assertive. You have to know what you want.
He added, customers must fulfill their obligations in order to protect their consumer rights.
Many of us as consumers engage in hire purchase agreements. It is incumbent on us to read those agreements even before we sign it. So you must read those agreements. It is incumbent on us to satisfy our obligations of paying the installments on time. If you don't pay your installments on time, you have compromised your consumer right. And so it's incumbent on consumers to act in that responsible manner as it relates to the obligations in safeguarding the consumer rights.
In this publication found at the Ministry of Commerce, your pocket guide to the rights and responsibilities of the consumer, the Consumer Affairs Department encourages consumers to act responsibly. Carry out transactions in a business-like or professional manner. Examine goods thoroughly before buying. Read your instructions, your manuals, your warranties. Ask questions. Get as much information about an item before making a purchase. If these vital steps are followed, there will be no doubt that the buying experience between the customer and the seller will significantly improve. From the Ministry of Commerce, I am Marvin St. Louis.